Now, contending for the faith. In this regular feature, Dave and Tom respond to questions from listeners and readers of the Berean Call. Here's this week's question. Dear Dave and T.A., does the Bible teach or recommend vegetarianism?
We have some indications. We have Daniel. He didn't want to eat when he was taken off to Babylon. He didn't want to eat the food that the Babylonians ate and so on. On the other hand, we used to have billboards. I haven't seen one in a while, but PETA, which is the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, they would have supposedly an image of Jesus saying that he was a vegetarian. Now, straighten us out on this, Dave.
Well, even after his resurrection, Jesus ate some broiled fish, it says in Luke 24. He certainly ate the Passover. So the Jews were not vegetarians because they at least ate the Passover lamb. In fact, the Bible tells us that, let's take Peter. You got a sheet let down. It's got living creatures. These are animals. And the voice from heaven says, "Rise, Peter, kill and eat." And Peter says, "Well, I'm a vegetarian." No, he doesn't say he's a vegetarian. He says, well, there's some things in there that are really supposedly unclean according to Mosaic law. What God has called clean, don't you call unclean. So it wasn't a question of whether he should eat meat or not. It was which kind. So I don't think you could possibly justify vegetarianism from the Old Testament. In fact, or from the New. In fact, if you get to Genesis 8 about, I think, it very clearly tells you that God has given the animals for meat. So I don't know where a person would get the idea. Do they justify this at all?
Well, this person just wants to know if the Bible does teach it. Now, Dave, you've talked, I know many people who are vegetarians, and they're doing it for health reasons.
Right.
And I don't have any problem with that.
Right.
Maybe eating less meat might not be, I don't know, beef growers out there, but or chicken growers or whatever.
Don't tell it to the Texans.
Or the turkeys, whatever. Our concern is when people turn to vegetarianism as a religious practice, as a spiritual practice, and many do, and that's a concern. No, not only do they have a wrong idea. For example, in the previous segment, you talked about Hindus and ahimsa, in other words, nonviolence. Well, they have that belief, but the war between Pakistan and India was one of the bloodiest wars ever, over Bangladesh, I think it was. So my point here is that there are religious beliefs, and they're going to dictate our lives. But are they true? Are they valid? Are they legitimate?
Yeah, Tom, vegetarianism for the sake of becoming more holy, drawing me closer to God, or as part of my salvation. I didn't have time to mention something else that might be of interest to our listeners. Not only do they have old age homes for cows, you got cows wandering through the street and so forth, but some of these dear people, they get so hungry. Now, you said ahimsa, that means nonviolence. I mean, you wouldn't kill. You wouldn't dare to kill anything. Now, I don't know how they get around, when Buddha boiled his water for his tea, he's killing millions of microbes. But anyway, Tom, some of these dear people will go after a cow, and they will cut a big hunk of meat out of its hindquarter. But now they didn't kill it, and it may die later. But they're trying to adhere to their religion, but it has made these people so poor. Now, personally, Tom, I try to cut down on red meat or meat because I think I'm healthier. I feel healthier if I eat more vegetables than meat. But I certainly don't do it for a religious reason, and the Bible would never suggest that. But Tom, lest anyone get the impression, the question was, does the Bible teach vegetarianism? So let me read. Actually, it was Genesis 9. I said Genesis 8, but let's go to Genesis 9. Verse 3, this is after the flood now. God blessed Noah and his sons and said, be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth. Verse 3 says, every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. Well, later on it's modified, but even as the green herb have I given you all things. But flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat. Because we get to Leviticus 16 and so forth, we find the life of the flesh is in the blood. And I've given it for you upon an altar. And it's significant that the body of Jesus, his resurrected, glorified body, does not have blood in it, or he would have been bleeding from 5 wounds. When the disciples, when he appeared to them in Luke 24, they were afraid that this was a ghost, a spirit. He said, he showed them his hands and feet. He says, handle me and see. We would say a real flesh and blood person. No. Handle me and see. A spirit doesn't have flesh and bones as you see me have, because the life of the old flesh.
For more information about the Berean Call, call us toll-free at our order number or visit our website